president has been declared by INEC as president-elect, and that has been affirmed by the Supreme Court. And as far as I know, the Supreme Court is the last court of competent jurisdiction that when they make their decision, that is the final. You cannot appeal it. Even you can ask them for review, in most cases, but not presidential election, where they have affirmed the presidential candidate of APC as the president of Nigeria. So as we speak, we do not have a president for APC or PDP, but we have a president who is superintending over the Federal Republic of Nigeria in its legitimacy. So anybody, group of persons, parading themselves as Labour Party members are not, that are criticizing the administration via this legitimacy means are not our member. Labour Party is a party registered and known to the law, and we are under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So wherever they have their own, they are coming with their notions, they had better know, and I'm pleading with all the press in Nigeria and over the world, please stop making reference to them as shifting of Labour Party. We are not going to have such characters, that will go on air and be impinging on the sovereignty of Nigeria in the name of a loss from election. And I also put it to them, have you seen any member of APC that have made reference to President Ahmed Tinubu as illegitimate? Those are the people that came second. So you will know they have a mission. The people you said have not come to terms with the reality of that election are people who are interested in dividing Nigeria. They are trying to wage war against the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They are trying to intimidate the president in order, to cause a violent overthrow of this administration. That is why you see them in clusters coming on here to say we have an illegitimate president. Labour Party wishes to dissociate ourselves from the position taken by these people. We do not have any legitimate president in Nigeria. We have a legitimate president who we are also going to challenge legitimately in 2027. And perhaps, if we have our way, our candidate, we don't have a candidate now, but whosoever emerges our candidate, by that time at least, that person cannot be sworn in. But if we lose it again, my dear brother and sister, life is not going to come to an end. We just have to continue, with Nigeria. Then regarding Edo State, yes, I wish to tell you that a judgment is coming on Apata from the Federal Court before Justice Omotosho, because the primary that brought in Apata was conducted during the pendency of a restraining order against our chairman then, Julius Aburi. That judgment, that ruling of that court was set aside on March 6th. But the primary of Alhaji Lamidi Ababa, the then acting chairman, was done on the 22nd, while Mr. Julius Abure conducted his own on the 23rd. So we are before Justice Omotosho now, and we have argued, and argued through our lawyer, Dr. Wesley Dausa, SAN, and Afalai Fashanu, and others. We have been able to argue our point out before Justice Omotosho that the primary that produces him was done in disregard to, the pendency of the FCTI court order. And our candidate in our primary is Barrister Anderson Asemota, while the deputy is Barrister Monday Mawa. So we are believing the judiciary that the candidature of our will be set aside, because the rule of the court, even we have criteria of judgment of Supreme Court that when an order of the court is made, until when it is set aside, it must be obeyed. You cannot choose which order to obey, which judgment to disobey, because we are not in a banana republic that when a court made an order, some people will just choose, to disrespect it, as it's been done by those characters that I mentioned, that I pleaded with Nigeria not to be making allusion to us, members of Labour Party or chieftain of Labour Party. So as I speak, I want Nigeria to know that election, is not gone yet, because the man is still going around parading himself as the candidate of Labour Party. But I want Nigeria to know that we have argued a matter before Justice Omotosho of the Federal Court in Abuja, and judgment has been reserved for July 17, and we believe that at the end of the day, truth will prevail over injustice.
All right, so talking about the issue of those who are still feeling or reeling from the impact of the 2023 election, who you are dissociating the party from, Well, they will still want to argue that they are a member of the Labour Party and definitely they have the right, to make their own opinions. But then that's about that. But let's quickly take a break. We'll be back and, pick it up.
No, they are not members of our party because they do not have our card.
Just hang on, Mr. Arabambi. We'll definitely come back. Just stay with us.
Join Arash Keswani, Dio Israel, Dr. Ola Brown, Mahmoud Tukur, Toby Ajayi, Nod Motors, Shijibumi Ogundele Sujimoto, Joyce Awushika, Nia Desoya, Kula Shoria, and many other experienced trainers and facilitators at the Enterprise Skills Development Training Program for business owners, business managers, and entrepreneurs from Monday 8 to Friday 12 July 2024 from 9 a.m. daily in Lagos. Event is free for everyone, but registration is mandatory. Training will be declared open on Monday, July 8th by His Excellency Abdullahi Ganduje and His Excellency Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Register now on www.youngprogressives.ng/mybusinessandi. For partnership and exhibition, call 0806-628-8642 or 0816-676-5045. You can email us at events@youngprogressives.ng. Announcer Dr. Dio Israel, National Youth Leader, APC.
Thanks for staying with us here on TVC. Then we're talking about issues of the Labour Party on this morning. I've been speaking with the factional publicity secretary of the Labour Party, Mr. Arabambi, who has been, giving us analysis of the things that are happening in the party. We were talking about the Edo State election and how ready your party, has been, and then you try to x-ray, some of the issues unfolding in Edo State ahead of the September 21st election. But if you look at the issue of the deputy, INEC is yet to substitute the deputy governorship candidates of your party in the state, although the state chapter of your party protested against the final list of the candidates released by the commission, insisting that it met all legal requirements for substituting its candidates. How are you working to address
Thank you very much. As far as we are concerned, Apata and Faith Alufia are not candidates of our party, and we are very glad. We have said this before now, that Olumide Apata is clandestinely working for a particular political party in that state. How can Olumide Apata explain, as a former president of the NBA, with due respect to the members, will go and pick a deputy governorship candidate that have issued discrepancies in our record, knowing fully well that what befell the former governor, I forgot the name, in Bayelsa, who was asked to step aside on May 28, 2019, over discrepancies noticed in the deputy governor, in his deputy governor elect as at that time, was what Apata planned. Apata was not working for Labour Party. We are telling Nigeria that some of these people, they are most in our party. A former president of NBA ought to have scrutinized, the credentials of his deputy. But he closes his eyes so that he will not be able to work, for opposition. Because what are you going to do? The law is exactly clear. Once your deputy has issues, your candidacy is gone because it is a joint ticket. Now, INEC has published the final list. It means, I did not mean that we have a candidate on ground that ticket will have just been thrown, into ocean. So Olumide Apata, as far as I'm concerned, is aware of what he's doing. He's not working for Labour Party to win. He's working for a particular political party to win, just like the mistake, that was done by the APC in Bayelsa 2019, was what he also just tried, to latch on to deny us of our, sweet victory. But we thank God that we also challenged that in court, because we told the court that even ab initio, this man is not even going to run. He doesn't have interest, in contesting election in Edo. He is working for a particular political party that we have alleged before that was his, phantom plan to just use us, and dump us at the end of the day, because he knew that even if Labour Party, I didn't challenge his election, if he had won that election, he will not be sworn in, because there are, plenary authority, even just like the one I said happened in Bayelsa. Once your governorship, deputy governor candidate has an issue, you are automatically a gunner, you cannot assume that office. He knows what he's doing, and we have talked about this to Nigerians that Olumide Akpata is a mole in Labour Party, because as a former president of NBA, he ought not to have accepted those credentials from a deputy governorship candidate who claimed that he was born on the same day he graduated from university, on the same day she finishes her secondary school. That is unacceptable in the contemporary Nigeria. We are not fools.
They remain allegations, because Mr. Akpata is not here to defend himself, and we hope that definitely the platform is available for him to come over to defend himself. But so your own faction of the Labour Party, who is actually the leader of your own faction that you support, and then the candidate that your faction is actually presenting in Edo State? Could you reconfirm for us, especially for our audience who are just joining us?
Our candidate. Yes, like I said, our candidate is Barrister Anderson Esemota, governorship candidate of Labour Party in Edo State, and the deputy remains Barrister Monday Mawa, deputy governorship candidate of Labour Party in Edo State. And like I said, I am happy to.
Sorry to butt in. Is that the name that appears on INEC, final list for the candidates that are contesting the coming election?
It is normally a rule for INEC to pitch tent with whoever they want to pitch tent with, but once a court order has been made, they will obey it. Before Justice Omotosho now, we have a pending matter before him where we are asking the court to direct INEC to expunge the name of Olumide Akpata, because his election was conducted against a restraining order. We have seen it so many places. In Rivers, a machine name, somehow was not on the INEC portal then now. They published Emeka Ehedioha, but when the court said no, Amechi is the rightful candidate, they put his name there, and then nothing happened. Everything will not fall. It is not a new thing for us, but INEC came, with their own defense that they did not know. Fine, the court has, duty to now put the law where it's supposed to belong, because we know that when a judgment of a court has been made, it is meant to be obeyed, because we are not in the Banana Republic. We are guided by the Constitution of Nigeria. When a judgment is made, it must be obeyed. Maybe a defendant or plaintiff does not reserve the right to choose which judgment I'm going to obey, which one I'm going to disobey. We have seen it in Nigeria where a city governor, will be asked to vacate, his seat, and nothing is going to happen. That is the judgment of the court. INEC that supported the former governor to go there are also the one that will now remove the name according to the judgment of any court until Supreme Court in the case of the governor and president, and the National Assembly and Senate, that will terminate at the Court of Appeal. So our position is that, as far as we are concerned, in the eye of the law, Olumide Akpata is not the candidate of Labour Party. Even as we speak now, his deputy has a K-leg, which INEC disagree. And let me quickly tell you this: he challenged INEC before Justice Iwete White in federal court. He lost that matter. He challenged INEC that he want to put the name of that professor, the other SCN. He lost because INEC said no, a proper subsidiary primary was not done by even the Abure faction then. And he lost. That was why you are still seeing the name of that woman, which is a catastrophe, even for him as a purported governorship candidate, that we believe the court will set aside on July 17th.
Anyway, as long as it's before the court, maybe we should just leave it at that, and then the court should finally give the final ruling or the judgment as to who the rightful candidate would definitely be for your party in Edo State. But then I'm wondering how your party is likely to present a formidable front when it's fragmented along leadership lines. Taking it on a broader level. Julius Abure and Apapa had been tussling for the highest position in your party. Abure had even fallen out from Apapa, fallen out from with the NLC. But what's the news about the Apapa faction reconciling with the Abure faction with the aim to present a unified opposition to the 2023 presidential candidate of your party? This is talking about Peter Obi, as well as the NLC. Could you help us understand or expatiate on this recent development?
I even have before me here Joe Ajero in a good photograph this morning with some people I will call political dissidents in our party. As the president of NFC is aware that provision of Section 15 of Trade Union Act prohibited him from using trade union money to go and be funding political party. But for reason best known to him, he has now been sending this message to all of us, appearing in a good photograph with Kenneth Okonkwo, Abdullahi Roma, and some other political dissidents in Nigeria, in the Labour Party, presenting themselves as National Caretaker Committee of Labour Party. That was a man who was supposed to be discussing with the president about why Abia State has not been able to pay 30,000. But he will go to Imo and be shouting on that governor there that he was not doing well. He will go to Imo and be shouting on Governor Obisodima. When in Abia State, we are not, that's the only state that we have 30,000 minimum wage. We have not been able, to pay that. Ajero as he refuses to comport himself with, the dictate of why he was elected. These are the things that you didn't see his predecessors, whether Senator Shomole, and the other man, that handed over to this man, Ayuba Abba. You will not see them, towing this line. But today, they are even going, as we speak, they sent the messages to all of us today that they are convening, they are going to converge at their labor house in Abuja, and they want to go and invade Labour Party office in Utako, in front of the NUJ. Is this thing proper for in a country authority where we have the Inspector General of Police and National Security Advisor, for Joe Ajero to be mobilizing people to now go and cause carnage against, a political party? They plan to invade Labour Party secretariat. This is what I'm saying on here, and I'm pleading with the Inspector General of Police to provide security to our secretariat. I'm pleading with the National Security Advisor. Joe Ajero needed to be questioned because as far as we are concerned, he has committed an offense by using trade union funds to now be funding political party. That is number one. Number two, he has a mission. Joe Ajero has a mission, and I want to tell Nigerians, Joe Ajero only want to clandestinely use Labour Party to unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because he has refused, despite the fact that it's none of his business, he has refused to accept the fact that senator was the elected president of Nigeria. And what do I mean? On the day even of their previous strike, who on earth will expect Joe Ajero to go against the trade union section 43, where you will now go and switch off our national grid? They invaded the airport and they knew the implication of that. It is a treasonable act. I would not be pleading with the security apparatus in Nigeria. We need to protect our democracy. Ajero cannot continue to consider himself as a nuisance to this administration using Labour Party name. And just like today now, they have converged in that their secretariat. They now want to march Emmas to go and cause, breach of peace in a party secretariat this morning.
If you talk about the
NLC, and they are not a member. Joe Ajero is not a caretaker member of Labour Party. That I speak.
Mr. Abambi, hold your thought a bit. Just for a second. If you can hear me. Yeah, Mr. Joe Ajero is also not here to defend himself, but then he has often said, on behalf of the NLC, that the NLC actually owns Labour Party, that the NLC was the umbrella that actually established the Labour Party. So if they claim that the Labour Party belongs to them, do they not have right to decide what goes on in the party?
Well, thank you very much. You see, at the section 222, of the Electoral Act is very clear. You see, it said once you register any association and you name it a political party, it said no association by whatever name called shall function as a party unless, one, the name and addresses of national officers are registered with the Independent National Electoral Commission. Membership association is open to Nigeria. Copy of a constitution is is deposited with the principal office of the Independent Electoral Commission. Any alteration of registered constitution will also be notified to INEC, not to the people that register it. That means once you register any association and you call it a political party, the section 222 of the Constitution of Nigeria has not distinguished it. People register PDP, they are not the owner. People register APC, they are not the owner. So for the fact that you claim you register Labour Party, because a lot of them are misinformed, they don't understand, what Constitution states. And that's why I'm reading it on an international television. What section 222 of the Nigerian Constitution. And do not forget that Constitution of Nigeria is supreme. That any act, edit, or law that is inconsistent with the provision of Nigerian Constitution, such shall be set aside to the extent of its consistency. So I think people needed to be guided about what constitutional provision says. So for him to now be claiming that, we register the party. Yes, you register the party. But the Constitution is superior to whatever anybody will say. And that is why Labour Party is now being presently under the administration of Barrister Julius Abure as national chairman, Alhaji Lamidi Abapa as deputy national chairman, and even the gentleman seated there as national public secretary. They cannot come and change anything there. It is the Constitution. Until when we change that Nigerian Constitution that, when you register a party, you are the owner. When you register a company, you are the owner. If you register a company, let me tell you that what they call article of memorandum of association, there will be shareholder, for God's sake. The people that register First Bank are not the owner today. Are you getting me? There are other shareholders, that will not be. Yes.
Mr. Abambi, you definitely make further clarifications for us, but let's quickly bring in Adeniyi from Abeokuta, who is joining us for his own contribution to the program. Adeniyi, the ball is in your court.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Carry on, Adeniyi. Adeniyi, are you there?
Morning.
Please speak.
My name is Adeniyi, calling from Abeokuta. Question to Mr. Abambi. Yes, I'm there. A question to Mr. Abambi. Mr. Abambi is in Labour Party. And then my own clarification is this. You need to find a way to reconcile with the other faction in Labour Party in order to unseat or to find a solution to the problem of Nigeria, not problem in NSC. We have problems. There's so many problems in Nigeria that we are facing. And the function of opposition party is to make the present governor, present party, to make them to stand very well. Why fighting NSC or all these things? And you said that the plan of Labour the plan of the NSC chairman is to unseat the President Tinubu. The President Tinubu is not doing well. The opposition should fight together and unseat him. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Abambi, that's I think you said it is a question to you. Do you have a response to that?
Yes, I have a very good response. Let me thank you, my brother there, Mr. Adeniyi. You see, you have said the right thing. The function of opposition is to hold the government of the day accountable, but not via illegitimate means. Now, this man has been sworn in as the president of Nigeria. Our question now is this. What does our constitution permit? Our constitution permit that there shall be election every 4 years. In as much as the president has been affirmed by the Supreme Court, my dear brother, that one is dead and buried. There is nothing anybody can do about that. What we have been telling our members is that we need to now come together and now provide a formidable force in 2027 to have a very, a viable president candidate that will now give President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and whosoever PDP want to present a good run for their money. But let me tell you why I categorically, mention Joe Ajaero. If a man in that capacity will now be consulting National Caretaker Committee, knowing fully well Labour Party name is involved, it will run contrary to Section 15 of the Trade Union Act. You see, we cannot begin to shy away from constitutional provision because people are looking at us towards 2027. But if we now consider ourselves as lawbreakers, as political party that will not respect the rule of law, Nigeria will not trust us. So Joe Ajaero, as far as I'm concerned, was the NSC, was just relying on something that they do not understand. Are you getting me? And then they now want to use our party as a vehicle to destabilize democracy, as a vehicle to overthrow democracy, and as a vehicle, to undermine Nigerian sovereignty. That one is unacceptable to Labour Party.
We'll take that. We'll take that as your opinion.
He should confine himself to.
Do hang on with us, Mr. Arabambi. We are actually due for a very short break. Do stay with us. We'll definitely be back with you.
You're watching Beyond 100 Days with Nifemi Oguntoye. President Tinubu, since he assumed office,
we are on our way to progress.
6 out of the 8 APC federal lawmakers.
I have a movement structure that's going to take back our party in Enugu State. Because this one I'm seeing is tales by moonlight. It's not working.
So I'm wondering what you think or who you think can stop him now.
He doesn't own the party.
One of the causes of inflation is because people cannot go to the farm.
The government still needs to do more so that people can eat.
I believe what we're clamoring for is more responsible use of social media. Not that people just go in there and think that they can say anything to anybody.
Tinubu is not one who believes in the same thing. I mean, he wants to get it done. He will face it. He will get it done.
Yes, the president, from inception of his administration, focused squarely on diversifying the economy and driving in investments to, cushion the effect of everything that we've seen, ranging from COVID-19 to the global commodity shocks, global financial crisis, and all of that.
I was privileged to have worked under a governor who believed in the system, who also built up the system, and I'm going to do the same.
All right, that's our show today, everyone. Thanks for being a part of it.
TVC News, first with breaking news.
Thanks for staying with us here on This Morning on TVC News. I've been speaking with the Factional Publicity Secretary, Labour Party, Abayomi Arabambi, who has been giving us different perspectives to issues happening within the Labour Party, beyond some of the things that we know and some things that we already know. But then it's very interesting that we're having trying to help us demystify the issues around the Labour Party. Mr. Arabambi, let us pick it up from where we left off. I'm not sure whether you answered my question as regards who and who are coming together to fight against or to fight the NLC as well as Peter Obi. Who exactly is the leader of your party as it stands today?
I've said, and I'm going to repeat it. The national chairman of Labour Party is Barrister Julius Aburi. I hope I'm very clear. The national secretary is Alhaji Farouk Umar, while the deputy national chairman, the most senior to Aburi, is Alhaji Lamide Apapa. I hope I'm very clear. But let me give you an information now. Yes,
okay. Carry on.
Yeah, let me give you an information now. As we speak, because of our coming together with Julius Aburi, NSC have invaded our secretariat now. They are there with all manner of dangerous weapons. Will Ajero be justified to go and be bringing down the gate of that party secretariat simply because we, the concern of the party, that we have been in that party over 16 years, I have spent 16 years in Labour Party. Alhaji Ababa has spent more than that. Barrister Julius Aburi, you know, I don't know, we are calling, when I was in Ogun State, he was in Edo, you know, before, you know, God promoted him to the position he was now. But as we speak now, there is a dangerous fight ongoing at Labour Party Secretariat. And I will please call for Inspector General of Police. Ajero needed to be checked because they don't have monopoly of violence. Ajero should not think what he went to do in Imo that he got away with, he can come and do that in the party secretariat. They do not have monopoly of violence. They are there now with Abdulwahid Omar, former president of NSC. And as we speak, we have information they are coming in 2 buses from Edo State to unleash mayhem on that secretariat. They can be shooting. People can be killed. I'm now calling on the Inspector General of Police to mobilize his men to that party secretariat to save democracy. Because what is Ajero looking for in the Labour Party? He has not even finished doing what he was elected to do. And like I said, Abia State is not paying 30,000 minimum wage. It is a shame on Ajero to now be running after that young man in Imo because you came from there. You even went there before the election that election should not be held in Imo. Why don't you say election should not be held in Abia State? Labour Party is a party that is open to all Nigerians. We do not want anyone to now sectionalize us. At least to say we're a regional party. So what is Ajero doing in our party secretariat with all those characters, you know, including a lawyer who called himself Kenneth Okonkwo, a lawyer? What are you doing? Must you go and take over a party secretariat by fire, by force, using all manner, all illegal means, mobilizing thugs into Abuja to go and be, you know, unleashing mayhem at the party secretariat? We have the right to, you know, stem our fight with Aburi. We have the right to call ourselves to order. It has happened in PDP when Secondus was asked to leave, heaven did not fall. When Yosaju was asked to leave, heaven did not fall. In APC, Senator Adamu Chemane was asked to leave, heaven did not fall. Adamu was asked to leave, heaven did not fall. John Odiniogun was, His Excellency was asked to leave, heaven did not fall. Why about Labour Party? If we have an infraction within ourselves and we have decided that, okay, for political reasons, these hijackers must not be allowed to take over our party because it is not because they want Labour Party to win. But like I said, it is an attempt by Joe Ajero, NSC, to intimidate the president against Section 37 of the Criminal Code. And I want the NSA to please listen to me. That man should not be allowed to endanger our democracy. Joe Ajero should not be allowed to overthrow democracy. Joe Ajero should not be allowed to intimidate our president.
All right. All right. We have Professor Edmond joining us from Enugu. Professor, please make your point.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, Professor, please carry on.
Yeah, yes. Thank you for it. Please, I have 2 questions. One, let me ask that again. Who are the registered trustees of Labour Party? That's one question.
What was the question again? Could you repeat the question?
Who are the registered trustees of Labour Party? Who are the original owners of Labour Party? Who are the people that registered Labour Party as a political party? Let me answer that question. Are you with me?
Yeah, and what's your second question, very quickly?
Second, wait, now let me finish. Secondly, your guest there said that the Supreme Court has taken a final decision on the problems besetting Labour Party, that the case has been settled and dusted. My second question then is, can Supreme Court do anything about intra-party squabbles? I mean, what we are experiencing in Labour Party is just a piece of the graveyard. Because the Supreme Court can never, because it's not within their purview, to intervene in the internal squabbles of a political party. so that that they got whatever they want to get in the Supreme Court doesn't prevail the internal squabbles. It will continue until sanity prevails in that party.
All right, Professor Edward, your point is made.
The party is disorganized.
Right,
Thank you.
Your point is made. Thank you very much. Mr. Abambi, I'm sure you heard him right. You have a response.
Yes. Let me start from the second one. When you say Supreme Court cannot intervene, I think I'm a little bit shocked about that. And I want you to go and look at the judgment of the Supreme Court between Labour Party Peter Obi, Atiku and PDP, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and APC. The Supreme Court are clarifying what are internal affairs of a political party and what are non-internal affairs of a political party. It is a judgment. Once they have been able to clarify, if you come on something and you want justice, when it's not the internal affair of the party, your matter will be dismissed. If you say it's the internal affair of the party and the Supreme Court agree with you, your matter will be upheld. So that is what they call judgment of Supreme Court. Now, on the other one, I have just read to you, sir, that Section 222 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, they said no association shall, by whatever name called, shall function as a political party. So we are not a company that have registered trustee. We are not bank that have registered trustee. The Constitution has distinguished a political party from an ordinary company that a husband and wife go and register and say, oh, we are the registered trustee. No. What the Constitution guarantees is that when it is a political party, the chief CEO shall be INEC and not the people that register it. And let me read again to you, sir. They said the name and address of nothing officer shall be registered with INEC. That is Section 222A. B said membership of association shall be open to Nigerians. Copy of the Constitution is registered in the principal office of INEC. INEC, not with the registered trustee. So we need to distinguish what the Constitution says, and I've also opined here that the Constitution of Nigeria is supreme. Anything, any other law that is inconsistent with the provision of Nigerian Constitution, they say such shall be set aside to the extent of its consistency. So please, I want us to get this part right, that Juajero, or whatever they call themselves, that claim of register Labour Party, the Constitution says once you call it a Labour Party, it has a life of its own. They said the party are the one that will now mobilize Nigerians to join it, not anybody that register it. So
that answers it.
Very explicit.
Right. We have Yakub calling us from Topemo. Mr. Yakub, please carry on.
Yeah. Good morning, and then good morning to your guests. Hey. Good morning to your guests once again. For me, I totally agree with your guests this morning, and then I have my own personal reason for saying that. With due respect to labor unions person, in person of Adero, I want your guys to clarify something here. For me, I believe Labour Party is a party of every Nigerian citizen, not just Labour as a strong entity like Adero is taking it. Because I believe all over the country, everybody belongs to a Labour Party. Anybody that chooses to belong to them. I personally, I'm not part of the Labour Party. I say categorically, I am an APC person, and then I'm not regretting that. But the issue is this: how will Labour invaded a house of a Labour Party? Because I think the difference between a Labour union and a Labour Party should be ascertained here. And then I totally disagree with the last caller, which is in person of Professor. I'm sorry to say that, but I have my own personal reason for disagree with him. If he said the Supreme Court has no say in anything that happens in every party, what are you trying to tell us? We should take law into our hands. And then if anybody chooses to carry gun and begin to shoot each other, killing each other, Supreme Court should not say anything, should not stop anybody. I totally disagree with it. So, right. I'm saying this morning that Adero should face Labour Union, not the party. Because you cannot use a platform quote and unquote, call a Labour Party in order for you to destroy this country. If you want to face Labour, let's know that you are a Labour leader, not a Labour Party leader. Because you are not even a national chairman of the Labour Party. Why are you going to the national? Why are you going to the house of Labour Party in Abuja?
Yakub, your point is made. Your point is made. Thank you very much, Yakub. But then, Mr. Arabambi, I'm not sure whether you're aware of the actor turned politician, Kenneth Okonkwo, who lashed out at your party leadership precisely in an interview where he said, let them, referring to Julius Abure and his cohorts, according to him, to come out and tell him what they did at the convention if it's not a secret society. This is him calling your party leadership or the party as a secret society led by a bunch of jokers. Do you have any response for him?
We thank you very much. All of them together, even before we come together now with Julius Abure, they went ahead with Mr. Peter Obi and the governor of Abia State, because the returning officer, in the convention, all the rep and assembly member, including the deputy governor, were part and parcel of that convention. But they know that convention was not supposed to hold for one reason. Immediately, the Court of Appeal set aside the ruling of the FCTI court. As a law-abiding citizen, we obeyed, but we have still one step to take. We appealed immediately to the Supreme Court with motion for stay of execution. And every right-thinking individual ought to know that once an appeal, a motion for stay of execution, have been, filed, you are supposed to at least abate, not to prejudice what will be the outcome of that. So for Kenneth Okonkwo, I am not going to listen, to all these rhetorics, because they were part and parcel of that convention. They knew that convention is not even supposed to be held in the first instance. Now, regarding him calling them that he doesn't know what they are doing, maybe they are secret court or something, it is what they were doing, because as we speak, he, together with NSC, President, the Secretary General, Buhari, all of them are in that secretariat now. Only God knows what will have happened. Whether they have even macheted anybody, nobody knows. But our position is this. TUC are exonerated from all these fracas. Engineer Usifo is exonerated. The entire TUC, they are exonerated because they have told NSC in a joint meeting with us that they don't have that power. And I will also thank a very senior advocate of Nigeria, that is Ifemi Falana, for the position he took in that imbroglio when it started. Because he spoke to them, he spoke to us, and he made the position of the law know that they cannot have Labour Party. Except we come together, if we agree on any convention, and any one of them come on board. But let me say this, because of time. The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I want to make this appeal to him. If nothing is done to Joe Ajero, we will be approaching the court to order mandamus to compel the president to use his executive power. Everybody that have infracted on the Constitution of Nigeria, they must be brought to book. We will be going to court to sue the president, the Inspector General of Police, and National Security Advisor. Nigeria must not be allowed to fail. No individual must be allowed to take law into his hand with an attempt to derail our democracy or to threaten Nigeria's sovereignty. If for any reason the president of the Republic of Nigeria refuses to act, within 1 week, we will go to court to compel him to an order of mandamus to do the needful.
Right, I hear you, Mr. Arabambi. We have Mazi Okorafo from Arochukwu. Mazi, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Nube. What is happening now in Nigeria political arena is that human beings feel that they can't obey the court. And in as much as they are in the office, they are the arbiter, they are the victim, which is not healthy. But the question is this. What is the Labour Party and Nigerian Labour Congress? What is their problem? You see, Nigerian Labour Congress is supposed to talk about the Nigerian society, not the question of going to practical party. But the thing is that the Labour Party should be a man. The moment Obi leaves Labour Party, just say no, bye-bye. That is the end of Labour Party. And even if the Labour Party is going to be another political party, people will be looking at them double-minded, this and that. Now, are we sure that what they are coming is with a good record? But the thing that our politicians should know that No need of creating confusion and promotion in the political arena because you want to be this, you want to be that, you want to be the ultimate. It is not ready.
All right, Mazi.
This is a game of life. Accept it or you reject it or swap party. That is why it's all.
Right, Mazi, thank you very much. Because of our time, Mr. Abambi, very quickly, this is very last question for you. Because of our time, I would like that you respond in just a minute. You know, critics have actually questioned the Labour Party's structural strength and resources. So one would wonder, you know, based on some of the things that we talked about, you know, since, how does the Labour Party respond to criticism or behave? Because according to them, they said it lacks the organizational capacity to compete with more established parties like the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party. Very quickly.
Thank you very much. None of them, including Peter Obi and the obedient, the Kenneth Okonkwo and Aisha Yusufu, were with us when Ogboru contested under Labour Party and we won many House of Rep and Assembly seats. Obi was not in the political arena when Mimiko led PDP and contested under Labour Party under 90 days. And we won many Senate, House of Rep, Assembly seats. The former Deputy Senate President of the Federal Bank of Nigeria, Omagege, was elected under Labour Party. Ifeanyiba are contested under Labour Party and we won many Assembly seats. We won Assembly seat in Nasarawa without Peter Obi. We won Assembly seat in Benue in 2019. We have won House Assembly seat in Oyo State. Like I said, we have a lot of traders. We do respect to them. They should just go and learn about political issue of Nigeria. Obi is not the life of Labour Party. If Obi chooses to run under Labour Party in 2027, so be it if he emerges as the winner. If he loses, he can go. But for anybody to be telling Nigerians, to be telling Labour Party that once Obi leave, that's the end of Labour Party. If before Obi came into Labour Party, was there no Labour Party before he came? Right. And I will ask them question. What is the position of ABGA when Obi was in ABGA? What was the position of PDP when Obi was in PDP? How many seats do they have? For the fact that he came to Labour Party means it's a platform that if Nigerian love, and that's why he came. But it's not above the Labour Party. Obedient are not bigger than Labour Party. Labour Party is bigger than Peter Obi and is bigger than Obedient.
Right. Factional Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party, Abayomi Arabambi, thank you so much for your time and your insight into this critical topic. Thank you so much. And thank you too for watching. Thank you so much for your company. I'm Ibrahim Shita. I'll see you again tomorrow, on another issue this morning. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.
Following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Tired of pans that scratch and stick? Or cookware that takes up valuable space in your kitchen and are of little to no use? Cooking used to be fun, but now it just feels like a chore. Introducing ShopX Gotham Hammered Copper Collection, the perfect cookware to upgrade your cooking experience. The Gotham Hammered Copper Collection features a super durable ultra non-stick surface. Eggs stick to other pans, but with the Hammered Copper Collection, they slide right out. Incredible! Plus, the Cool Touch solid cast handle makes it safe and easy to cook even the hottest dishes. It's oven safe up to 500 degrees, so bake this beautiful chicken stew pizza and serve it straight from the pan. Or this tasty delicious cake that will have your whole family asking for more. Any recipe can be made in these pans, and then it wipes clean with ease, so cleanup is a breeze. Plus, use your hammered copper pan to make homemade pancakes that flips and slips right out. Or make mouth-watering jollof rice or even fluffy pounder with ease, because nothing sticks.
I needed a culprit to keep up with me. The Gotham Hammered Collection has been a game changer. No more burnt meals or hours spent scrubbing pots.
The Gotham Hammered Copper Collection is now available in Nigeria exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying over $490,000 for a collection of pans that are not even non-stick. Call the number on your screen now and get it for just 364,950 naira. This incredible ShopEx offer includes one 8.5 inches fry pan, one 10.25 inches fry pan, one 1.4 liters saucepan, one 2.4 liters saucepan, one 4.7 liters stock pot, one stainless steel steamer, 4 tempered glass lids. But wait! If you order now, we will upgrade you to the Premier Kitchen Collection at no extra charge and also include one cookie sheet, one round baking pan, one square baking pan, one loaf pan and muffin pan, and one all-in-one food processor that blends, grinds, chops, dices, pounds yam and makes smoothies in seconds. All for just 364,950 naira only. And that's not all. You can get the ShopEx Premier Kitchen Collection in 2 easy payments of 182,475 naira. Place your order now and we will deliver the entire collection for free anywhere you are in Nigeria. But hurry, this exclusive ShopEx TV offer is for a limited time only, so call now while stocks last. The following was a paid presentation from ShopEx TV.
And welcome to TVC Midday News. We are staying with the cholera outbreak in Nigeria, an effort to curb further spread. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has placed the country at high risk after conducting an assessment in response to the increasing cases. So far, 1,528 suspected cases and 53 deaths have been recorded across 31 states and 107 local government areas, with a case fatality rate of 3.5% since the beginning of the year.
As of the 24th of June 2024, a total number of 1,528 suspected cases and 53 deaths have been recorded across 31 states, 107 local governments, with a case fatality rate of 3.5% since the beginning of the year. 3.5% is the average now, and the national expected average is just 1%. So we find these fatalities as not just statistics, but a significant loss of loved family members, spouses, and parents, and often a seasoned healthcare worker and team member. This situation is likely to be compounded as the rainy season intensifies. If you or anyone you know experience sudden watery diarrhea, please do not self-medicate. Visit a healthcare facility immediately. To our health workers, we urge them to always practice standard safety precautions, which include wearing gloves while handling patients or providing care to an ill patient or relative, and intensify surveillance efforts to promptly report suspected cholera cases to the various health departments.
Still on the outbreak of cholera, the Oyo State government has announced that it has identified 7 suspected cases in the state. Commissioner for Health, Oluwaseremi Ajetomobi, addressed journalists in Ibadan. Senior reporter Olaido Yewole has details.
Nigeria is currently experiencing cholera outbreak, with the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention reporting over 1,528 suspected cases in 31 states. The main cause of the outbreak has been linked to contaminated water and poor sanitation, made worse by the rainy season, which can spread the disease through flooding and unsafe water sources. Following this development, Oyo State government says it has identified some suspected cases and they are under observation. The ministry also adds that it has implemented measures to contain the outbreak and prevent further spread.
So far, so good. God has blessed us in Oyo State. I told you before that before now, we have started preparing for this kind of emergency preparedness. And so far, so good. We have 7 suspected cases in Oyo State as at this morning. And out of these 7 suspected cases, 5 had been declared negative. We are awaiting the culture of 2 other suspects. As I'm talking to you, we don't have any positive case of cholera.
Regarding the ongoing strike by the health workers in Oyo State, the commissioner assured that Governor Makinde is actively working to address the workers' demands and resolve the issue.
But it's just to tell you that before now, even before they declare their strike, the governor, the executive governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, has tried his possible best to make sure that he puts smiles on the faces of workers. The salary is not being denied, but it's just that they want an increase. And part of this increase, everything has to be on deck because, just as you know now, the nurses are on strike too. And they are coming on strike. They cannot do for a part and neglect the other. Everything has to be taken together so that, because if you do for a part and neglect the other, it's a vicious cycle. Other two will come and they say they are going on strike then. So he's trying his possible effort to make sure that everybody is happy.
The Oyo State government's move to contain the cholera outbreak and end the health workers' strike in the state is a major move towards ensuring that normalcy is maintained in the state health sector. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.